So what's up, community? This video is gonna be titled "Why NA IGLs Suck," and I've uploaded a longer version of the video where I go more in depth about my explanation and stuff. I compare with other sports, and it's gonna be in the description if you wanna go ahead and see that. So I've made a list of points. The first thing, I'm gonna go into the server for no reason actually, but just so that you don't get bored having nothing to watch. So to me, the first reason why NA IGLs suck, and that's not to me, that's just a fact, is because they haven't mastered the fundamentals of the game. And on any squad, your IGL, your in-game leader, should be either the smartest guy in-game, obviously, or the second smartest guy on the team. Because it gives confidence to everybody else on the team if he knows more than everybody else. And yeah, that's basically it. He can't really get disputed for anything, right? Because if he knows more than you, then it's unlikely that your, your criticism of him will be worthy. All right. So why do NA in-game leaders lack fundamentals? On every single fucking game, almost every game I've watched, and I have watched a bunch, NA teams don't take the proper map control depending on the map. So, for as an example, on Mirage, map control to me on your default every single gun round or almost every single gun round, every now and then you can switch it up and do fast things, stuff like that. But on almost every single gun round, you need to be able to take mid control, right? If you cannot take mid control on Mirage, you'll lose your T side 90% of the time. What do I mean by taking mid control? You need to be able to push the CTs back off connector and back off of cat and ladder room. Once you've done that, then it opens up everything for you, right? You deny them, you deny so much information to CTs that they can't rotate properly. They gotta take fucking gambles. They'll probably have to push in extremity because they're stuck in awkward spots, or they're gonna have to give up a site. So yeah. So NA IGLs lack fundamentals of IGLing, obviously. And to me, the biggest fundamental of in-game leading is knowing what your default should consist of. What should it be, right? It's not only holding positions and making sure the CTs don't push. It's also, depending on the map, what portion of the map is crucial on every single round, right? It's crucial in winning every single round. On Mirage, it's mid. On Cash, mid or or checkers. On Inferno, top B, and top mid, right? On Train, Brown Halls, Ladder, that's it. Brown Halls and Ladder on Train. You don't really have to have IV control every single round. Um, you need to push them like off of IV, but you don't need to actually be in IV, is what I'm saying. So make sure that they're not pushing, right? Is there another map? On Cobble, it's not a map that I play that much, but I'd say definitely taking long A control as well as mid, and what's it called? Danger is something crucial on T side. Cobble's a map where you can get away with pushing fast B, splitting fast B and drop. It's just one of those T-side maps where some of these spots are favored the terrorist, like the B platform, because CTs can only see your head. But yeah, that was great, dude. That was like the best conjunction I've ever said. All right, so knowing what's important, what portion of the map is important to take on every single map. That's something that they don't know because I've watched them play and they don't do it. Now, the second thing, to me, an in-game leader should put himself in the shoes of the CT rotator, right? That's what you should be doing. I'm just taking a sip of water. So as well as installing a good default and good map control. You need to be able to put yourself in the shoes of the CT rotator and know what he's most likely to do in every situation, and you need to do that fast. Like, what I'm saying is, you basically need to empathize with the guy, right? Empathize, yeah, empathize with the guy, like, to the fullest. Like, you need to feel everything he's feeling, and all that good stuff. So when you get a kill A, you need to know, all right, this guy's gonna go there. When you get a kill mid, you know, all right, this guy's gonna go there, so that you can exploit, uh, so you can exploit him and his movement and the info that he gives you by rotating back and forth and all that stuff. That's something I don't know. I don't see the NA IGLs do, because whenever they're up a guy, I feel like they're stuck in an awkward spot, and they're like, let's just group up. Yeah, that's great. How about you group up and you make the right play because of all the information you've gathered, right? Um, so making information plays, basically knowing what to call off of what information you've got. That's what I'm saying. That's what they're lacking, and that would be resolved if they were able to put themselves in the rotator shoes. Third thing, knowing when to push an advantage. So I've watched a bunch of fucking games every now and then, a bunch of games, and sometimes you get an entry, and because you only have two players there, you don't want to push forward. You gotta push forward. In some situations, you need to push your advantage once you have it, right? Don't let it go. Uh, as an example, on train on B side, if you've gone the first entry really fast within your execute, you're asking everybody needs to fucking push, dude. Let's push forward, boys, because even if you trade 1 for 1, train isn't a map where, unless you have an opera, train on T side, I mean, train isn't a map where you can where you win most of the even numbers retake situations as terrorists or post plant situations. Okay, um, it's a retakeable site, just like Aeon Mirage, just like Aeon Cache. Because terrorists have to peek, they can be flushed out by mollies really easily. They can be isolated with smokes, all that good stuff. So the next thing IGLs don't do in NA is they can't seem to know when to fake. They just throw fakes. They know what a fake is, right? Let's use a bunch of fucking utility in one extremity of the map and then go to the other extremity of the map. So they grasped the concept like everybody else, but they don't know when to exploit it. What I mean by that, I've watched Optic play, and they were getting wrecked on Mirage. I think it was against North. They were just getting wrecked, and they were throwing fakes because nothing else was working, and they thought they kept getting wrecked because because of the early rotations, which wasn't fucking the case. They kept getting wrecked because they didn't have map control, which allowed the CTs to early rotate. Um, so yeah, so know when to fake. I've got 3 golden rules. Actually, I've got 1 golden rule and then 2 other rules. My golden rule is you can only fake when you have map. Not only fake. You can fake when you have map control. You need map control to fake, right? That's my first golden rule. You should fake if you have map control. Now, the 2 other rules are you fake when you're up numbers or when you're even numbers but the CCs are down a guy, so you are too, basically. So it's 4v4, 3v3 situations. Then faking is good because the CCs have to spread thin and you can play with the rotator fairly easily. Now the third point would be I'm running up to 10 minutes here. Fuck, I gotta do this fast. The third rule is having done executions and they've worked in the past and in the match, right? So as an example, real quick, if you've thrown a couple of AXEC on Aeon Mirage and you've gotten fucking wrecked every single time you go there, faking A won't do you any good. Okay, so basically follow two when if you follow two of those three rules, right? So if you have, as an example, map control and you're up a guy, your fake is gonna work 90% of the time. If it's done properly, obviously. If you don't fucking there's a I can make a video on how to do fakes later. I probably will. Why not? Okay. So the next point about IGLs and NA and what they lack is not the knowledge of how the economy works, but what to do when the cities are low on money, what to do when the cities are, have a bunch of money. So basically controlling the economy and adapting your calls and your strats to the amount of money the cities have. That's something I do lack. As an example, if the cities have a lot of money, ergo they have a bunch of mollies and stuff, going straight into an execution is probably not going to work, right? Um, and if you're force buying, and also, yeah, don't force buy without having a good fucking idea behind it. Don't just force buy for the sake of it. Like you need to be able to exploit something or a spot in the map in order for your force buy to work, right? So a quick example: say you know that they've got an opper, that he keeps opping beyond Mirage, right? And they're low on economy, and you want to force buy. Well, heading fucking B would be great against an opper. Either doing a quick exec where you smoke the end of B halls, you throw a shit ton of fucking flashes over, or when you smoke cat off and then you throw a shit ton of fucking flashes over, you molly van and then you drop. They'll probably, that's a good idea. You've got a good idea. Don't just, you know, start the rounds and because everybody has to fucking double eco, be like, well, let's force here and let's go for picks. That is something I hate hearing. I hate hearing a fucking IGL say, yo, let's go for picks. How about let's go for picks, but with your team while using nades? Yeah, I think that's much better. Um, I'll just say a quick line. You should be on terrorist side and on CC as well, but especially on T side. The role of the IGL and the role of every execute and everything you do on T side is to put yourself in a position where you're at an advantage when you take the fight, right? So going for picks, you're not really putting yourself at that advantage. Do something, throw a flash, like ask for a smoke somewhere, right? Not ask for smokes, but tell someone to smoke something if you're the IGL. Yeah, you need to have a way of allowing your players on force buys to get a certain kill in an easier fashion than just dry peeking. Okay. So the economy. Another thing that the NA IGLs lack is on CT side. They have zero variety. They have zero fucking diversity on CT side. Everybody runs default setups, and they'll either like their definition of diversity is like, let's move around our opera, which is a good start, but not great, right? And or the IGL won't call for different setups, but the players in every site will decide which setup to run, which is fine to an extent. Like it's decent to an extent, but at the same time you don't have cohesiveness with the rest of your team because you do a certain thing in a site, so you don't really know what the A players do, and your whole setup isn't working together, which it should on CT side. Per se, if you want to take mid control, you want to contest mid on CT, which you should do on most rounds. Not on most rounds, but every now and then on CT side, you should contest mid, especially if the terrorists don't know how to take it. And you want to send 2 cat, right? If you send 2 cat, if only the B players say, all right, we're gonna stack cat, we're gonna play 2 cat, and your connector player, your whoever's playing connector at A, if the 2 players at A are playing dedicated A, then your setup really isn't worth that much, right? If you want to take mid control, you get everybody else involved, right? Okay, so that was it. Lack of diversity on CT side. Now 15 minutes. Fuck, I gotta pee as well. I think I had the last point. I didn't write this down, so. Oh yeah, my last point was adaptation, right? I feel like IGLs don't know how to adapt to the different things that are thrown at them. Uh, I'd give an example. So say you keep going mid on Raj and you keep dying as terrorists, and you can't figure out a way of uh, switch things up in mid so that it would work. You send more people, you still get wrecked. I don't know, you send heavy underpass instead of heavy top mid, you still get wrecked. You smoke everything, molly everything, you still get wrecked. So what you do, right? Well, if the CTs are using a lot of utilities, to mid, then two things you can. There's a bunch of things you can do. You can still show some presence in top mid, and then do a full attack somewhere else, or scrim. You'll scrim out A, you'll scrim out B, stuff like that, right? That's on my play Mirage. So know how to adapt. You need to know how to adapt on the fly. This shit, it shouldn't be taking you fucking like the first time. Every single time you lose a round, your IGL needs to ask everybody, yo, what happened? Why'd you die there? If he says, well, I just wait, fair enough. So, like, whenever you repetitively lose rounds doing the same thing, it's usually because whatever you're doing isn't right, right? So you gotta just switch things up. Um, so yeah, lack of adaptation on both CT and T sides. So that was it for the video. It ran for 17 minutes. Probably could have been shorter, but that's it for me. If you've got any questions, just hit me up. I'll gladly answer them. If you have any requests, comment below. If it's a demo review, I'd probably need some kind of payment, like maybe a $10 skin. Yeah. So thanks for watching and have a nice day.